All this, we're now joined by Frank Senso. Frank is currently a professor at George Washington University School of Media and Public Affairs, one of the many hats that he does wear. Frank is also a former CNN White House correspondent and Washington bureau chief for CNN. Frank, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Sean.
Okay, so let's start with some of the latest news. A federal judge blocking, at least temporarily, President Donald Trump's plan to push out federal workers moved at the deadline to Monday. So no one's denying there is fat or waste out there, if you will, in the federal budget. But a New York Times op-ed referred to the way Trump is moving like someone seeking decapitation to take care of acne. What do you think about the impact?
Well, that's a pretty apt description. We have never seen in the history of this country such a full-scale assault and so rapid. Typically, there's a process around this. You know, back in the 1990s, then Vice President Al Gore led something called the Reinventing Government effort. The then President Bill Clinton had declared the era of big government is over, and they were going to go in and they were going to reduce the size of the federal workforce. They claimed to have reduced 250,000 people in closed agencies. But it took months and years to do that. There were public hearings and open discussions. There was a process, an appeal process. There's been nothing like that now. And the big difference now, too, is there's virtually no transparency. We do not know who is making the decisions, how that process is taking place, or how these decisions are being made, what the priorities are. The USAID decision to go down to merely a few hundred employees from 10,000, brand new news this evening, is just a most dramatic example of that.
Yeah, and legions of people across the country right now are saying, I don't remember electing Elon Musk to anything, but Trump has given him extraordinary power. What exactly has this tech CEO been charged by the Trump administration with doing? What's his official role? And try to clarify for us, if you will, this title, Special Government Employee. What does that mean?
Well, that's his official role. His official role, his title is Special Government Employee. Special Government Employee is a title that exists. It's typically for outside advisors to the president or others based on their expertise to come in, sometimes for little or no money. And it's an advising capacity. It's not a doing capacity. What Donald Trump has Elon Musk doing is going through with a chainsaw and eliminating jobs and whole agencies without any public discussion and without any reference to the Congress, which by law has the power of the purse. By the Constitution, the Congress appropriates and authorizes the expenditure of funds. And the Congress has been completely locked out here. And the Congress, which is in narrowly majority Republican hands, seems to be compliant with this, quite happy to let it happen. It's completely unprecedented.
Yeah, let's follow up on that, because Republicans are falling into step and basically seemingly not want to do anything to rankle Trump at this point. And Democrats, for their part, their voice is just not being heard, whether it's just not getting out there or whether they're toothless to a degree. Your thoughts on that? What can the Democrats do, and how long do you think, or do you think there will be tremendous public pushback?
There's very little the Democrats can do legislatively at this point because they are the minority party in both the House and the Senate. And unless they have some Republican allies who will join with them, and so far they do not, if for no other reason, they might say to protect the realm, the authority, the power, the independence of the Congress, of the legislative branch, there's nothing they can do except maybe show up on a sidewalk, hold a news conference, or make a statement. The Senate Minority Leader, the Democrat Chuck Schumer, has done that. He's railed and complained. But beyond that, there's virtually nothing they can do. Where the action is now, to the extent that it exists, is in federal courts with judges, some of whom, as you say, have actually intervened. But this is moving so fast. Nobody imagined this. The courts can't keep up with this.
Okay, the DOJ, FBI, USAID, just a few of the agencies already been affected and will be affected. Trump wants these dramatic changes. Do you think that they are going to happen? Could USAID be pared down to a few hundred employees? I've spent a year in Afghanistan working for the State Department, saw USAID every day, and they did life-saving, tremendous work over there.
Yeah, it's kind of mind-boggling to think how much is being cut, how quickly, and what these agencies did: distributing food, distributing humanitarian aid, distributing medical supplies. And it's not just USAID. The Musk team have gone into the Office of Personnel Management. That's sort of the human resources bureau of the federal government, and they've got personnel files. That's where they issued their sort of buyout offers, basically telling every federal employee they should quit without actual assurances that they would get the severance that was actually promised.
Right.
They're in the Treasury Department looking at all the payments, trillions of dollars of payments that go through the Treasury Department. The General Services Administration is the part of the government that kind of manages the real estate, all the buildings, offices, installations of the federal government around all over the country and around the world. And there are reports that Musk is going through there and wants to cut that by 50% all of a sudden. So this is a wholesale dismantling, or at least that's what's in process right now, of the federal government.